You have just encountered 1d7 your main mans. And they appear angry. Now, if you're getting your Dungeons and Dragonisms on, and you're looking at the back of a crusty old Dungeon Master screen, or you're consulted table QRZ-7 in the Dungeon Master's Guide, you may find random encounters wedged back somewhere in the folds of the Monster Manual. It doesn't matter where you find them. What matters is when you do them, if you do them. I'm not really a big fan of the random encounters in general, but you may find cause, purpose, and point to bring random encounters into your game. If you want to do that, you want to make sure they make sense. When random encounters don't make sense, it crumbles in your world. Modules of Dungeons & Dragons, video games of Dungeons & Dragons have presented a horrendous teaching tool for new upcoming players. Remember, the players feed in. They feed in off base module play. They feed in off video games. They feed in off movies and things like that. That's where your new crop is coming up. The JV RPG players, the City League players, the intramural players. You understand what I'm talking about? I'm talking about the kids that are getting involved in the hobby, often taught wrong. I have ranted and raved on many occasions about how Dungeons and Dragons, particularly Pathfinder, other games like this, have done a very poor job of bringing players the right way into RPGs. You want the right way? Get within the Ring of Fire. Drive through RPG. Hit up your main man. Get the Within the Ring of Fire books, and you will illuminate your mentality, and your imagination will be increased 1,000-fold, much like the faces of Morgul that will look back upon your soul in judgment. Now, when you're looking at this, let's talk about the mistakes that are made. And I've just been watching I want to say the guy's name is like All the Dragon, or probably whatever, but about 3 years ago, he did a series of videos. It looks like there's like 50, some maybe 52 of the videos. Secrets of the Silver Blade, I think it was called. It's the sequel to Curse of the Ajar Bonds for the Commodore 64, which I played when I was like 12 years old, and I had a great time doing it. That was my first ever real official Dungeons and Dragons experience. I also, right about that time, I think right after I started playing it, I bought the actual Dungeons and Dragons books. I played role-playing games before that, but it was all sort of homebrewed house. It was nonsense, really. Well, I mean, for 10, it was pretty good, I guess. But that aside, that was really my first real taste of Dungeons and Dragons, first taste of Forgotten Realms. This game takes place in the Forgotten Realms, but it's the encounters I want to talk about. I listen to it. I don't sit there and watch them, but I listen to it like while I'm doing work on the Book of True Names for Within the Ring of Fire, doing editing, doing some additional rewrites and things like that. That's all part of the editing process when you're working on an RPG book, or really any book, I suppose. Now, in this, and in a lot of places, in a lot of the old Dungeons & Dragons modules, and a lot of the advanced Dungeons & Dragons first edition modules, particularly, and even some of the second edition modules, and I'm sure we can go on and on, there's random encounters, or set encounters in there, I suppose you'd say, that don't make any sense at all. You know, we've all seen the 3-set room where owl bears, hobgoblins, zombies. There's a problem here. There's some things that make a good bit of sense, and there's never a defecation anywhere, but there's some problems here, some real serious problems with that sort of thing. Where are the food sources? Where are they getting out? How are they moving around? Why aren't they attacking each other? These sort of things. And it's really well highlighted in that particular game, is things just appear that have no reason to be together. It's like, and now minotaurs and also cockatrices appear with them. The cockatrices will try to turn you to stone. Yeah, for some reason, they are just cool like a mo with these minotaurs. I guess minotaurs are excellent cockatrice trainers. You didn't know that, but apparently Secret of the Silver Blades does. Or also anyone else that randomly appears, like city guards and cockatrices. Or city guards and, you guessed it, driders. Because I know when I'm out on city patrol, I like to bring my drider friends along with me. Because if driders can't enforce the law, who can? I don't know. I mean, there's just ridiculous encounters after ridiculous encounters that really are just stat blocks and images thrown together with their assortments of powers. And they're all on the same side. So they all work together in unison. That's going to have a huge immersive impact in the negative, in the opposite direction where you want to go when you're doing those sort of things. If you want to have minotaurs and cockatrices together, you need to have some reasons. You need to have some very solid reasons as to why these minotaurs can train the cockatrices, why they're the cockatrices are enthralled to them, or maybe the minotaurs are enthralled to the cockatrices. Who knows? But you damn well better know, because as a player, like, that's immediately in my mind. I'm like, wait a minute, what kind of bullshit is this? Are you kidding me? But if you can get it over, and that's something I would work in there. I would. That's something you want to feed the players, like, so they don't think that you just don't know what you're doing. Because I guarantee you I would. I'm like, wait a minute, unless you really, really have earned some credential points in my mind. I mean, some serious ones. You might not want to just throw out cockatrices and minotaurs without any degree of explanation and so forth. But there's all kinds of ridiculous explanations like that you can have in the game. D7 tritons and 3 digesters attack you. What? Are you kidding me? You want to have creatures together that make sense. And moreover than that, you want to bring a little more ideal in there. If you're going to have, like you say, run a Forgotten Realms game, and you have 9d7 bandits attack the party. Look, man, don't just make them all humans. Don't make them all look the same. Like, let's say you got 17 bandits, right? 17 bandits attack the party. Okay, there's like 5 players. You got 17 bandits. That's pretty intimidating. Even if they have better armor, better swords, maybe some magic items, maybe some spells. 17 dudes rolling up on you with clubs, with studded leather armor, with hide, with scale mail that's like broken. They have desperation. They have desire. They have necessity to take your shit. You need to put that across. You need to put over that desperation, that desire. These men are men on the edge. They are not able to provide their needs. They're starving. They want what you have, and they're going to take it from you by any means necessary. Put that savagery over on those bandits, and players are, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, you might just be like 2nd level, and I'm like 7th level. But damn, you have some savagery. That look in your eye, that clawing to get back up. He's like, no, he's got to do it. He's got starving kids at home. He needs to be a bandit for whatever reason. Give him a reason. Give him a reason to run with. Maybe 5 or 6 of them, bam, 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 different reasons, and make them look different. Don't just have, okay, all right, there's 17 bandits. They're wearing leather armor, guys. They got bucklers and short swords. They also have maces, which they don't currently have out, in little pouches on them. Like, what did they just get back from a trip to Target? But what the hell? I mean, these guys is all uniformly. No, make them dirty. Like, make them different. Have a guy with a big bushy beard. It's like 6'2.5", and he's got a big old fucking club and like a half broken shield. He don't care. He's gonna bring that half broken shield to bear on you. He'll punch you in the face with that shield. And he smells bad. He hasn't bathed in a long time. Maybe there's some blood from a last conquest on his weapon. You got another guy over there, like he's missing some teeth, but man, he looks mean. A guy with a scar on his face. And keep going, and you can just run them right down the list. Bam, you write your list, 17 of them, scar on face, limp, missing an eye, missing a bunch of teeth, really bad smelling, big beard, bright green eyes, broken arm, busted up shield, scale mail, missing scale pieces, guy with 1 iron shod boot and 1 sandal on. He don't give a damn. He's going to wear that iron shod boot. That's his armor. And he might put a boot to you or give you a sandal experience or both. So when you can bring that kind of detail in, bam, also we got a popping rocket encounter there, right? How long did that take to make? I didn't prepare any of that. Boom, 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 boom. And I can keep drawing it out. Like, talk about how bad his breath smells. Or the one guy stuttering as he's grabbing you, get a brawler in there. And instead of just making them, again, all humans that all look the same, make them different. And then the players are like, oh, well, I don't know. Should I attack this guy? And the worst thing you could do is go, okay, there's 17 of them here that are all clearly jabronis. And there's the leader. He's right there. He's right there. They don't know who the leader is. He could be any of them. If they have one. But they don't get to know that. By taking that little bit of time as you run through them, you will add so much nuance to the game. It will be wonderful. That's just not hard to do, man. I just, right on the top of my head, if you sit down and work that encounter out with a few traits, or you have one of those lists, there's tons of lists you can buy in loads of different books. You probably have books at home that have some of them, Dungeon Master's Guides or whatever. Just add 1 or 2 character traits to each one of them as you're running down, and that's great. And instead of making them all human, hey, here's a half-elf. This one is a gnoll. Maybe their leader's a gnoll, and he's savage as this thing is, and he has a sickle, and or 2 sickles, and he's going crazy. He's like a 2nd level ranger, and he's just on you, chaotic evil style, talking smack to you. And he doesn't care, and he's so brutal and vicious that the rest of these people are like, well, yeah, I don't really want to be on the end of them sickles. Plus, You know, he might be a little more beefier than him, a little more in the hit point department, a little more in the size and strength department. So they're going to be a bit kowtowed to him. Plus, perhaps he's supplied that gold bullion, that silver, those pieces of jewelry, those objects they art that they all need. Everyone needs objects they art. So when you can bring that across, you could go, okay, we have this band of vicious mercenaries, of vicious bandits, of vicious thieves, whatever you want to bring across. They got a crumbling old ruin, a fortress that they've taken over there, and they be waylaying people. And they can have remnants of various carts and stuff. And maybe you even see like a broken wheel on the side of the road, like, you know, a couple miles down. You know, you're tipping them off. And then boom, that's when the bandits hit. And you have this whole list right there. Boom, 17. There's no way you can't make up 2 character traits. 2. That's all you need is 2 character traits for each one of them. Two character traits or 7 of them. 1 for the other 10, you know. And just give them different weapons. And you can even be real easy and just run down a list of weapons and do a D6. This guy's got a short sword. This guy's got a club. This guy's got a quarterstaff. This guy's got a scimitar. This guy's got a short bow. This guy's got whatever it is, right? And what else is a D6? You know, I don't know. But you can bring that across. You bring across D8 weapons, whatever, you know, to maybe bump them up a little bit. It's like, yeah, that guy's got a morning sword, that guy's got a mace, that guy's got a spear. You know, oh, okay. So add a little effect. So that was rusty. Oh, that guy has a really nice looking one. And they're like, oh, that's a magic item. No, it's not magic item. It's not even masterwork. It just looks really cool compared to all the busted, broken items the other guys have. And if you want to ratchet them down in power level, you know, you can have their items be really, really terrible. Like the best weapon is like a dagger. So they're on that like D4 scale. It's like, yeah, he has a short sword, but only does a D4 because it's a really bad shape. Or yeah, he has a club, but it's weak. You know, it's been broken. Or he's got a big bone club. You know, like Red Sonja's dude just bashing people with a bone. I mean, I'd probably get out of that D8. I don't know, but you do what you want right there, right? Make them make sense and make the random encounter make sense. Think for just a minute. Just stop and think to yourself as they're role playing. Okay, I've rolled this thing up, but this doesn't make sense. Or what can I do to make it make sense? You know, it's like the big bad guy dying and having 8 healing potions on him when he had like 85 hit points. He's like, I don't want to use them healing potions. The party needs to take those from me. Doesn't make any sense. Your players be like, oh, I got a healing potion, but you don't want your players to feel like you want to be like, oh, that guy's trying to drink a healing potion and he like kicked me in the gut. Like, and then he hit me with the healing potion, like he had like a steel flask. Like, oh yeah, and like, oh, my eyeball, I got hit in the eye with a healing potion. You don't suspect you're gonna get busted in the face with a healing potion, but you could, and you probably should be. I mean, let's just keep it real. So these are all things you want to keep into account. Make the game fluid and flow, and make the NPCs you invest in a random encounter or a group of NPCs. Use them for stuff. Have them talk to them. Have them talk shit to them. Maybe give them ways that they can talk them out of the encounter, that they can buy their way out, that they can maybe do a face-off, and then the other group retreats, only to come get them later when they, you know, to stalk them. You know, they're freaking rogues. They can stalk people, and these are, you know, rogues that have survival. They live out in the woods. So they're like, okay, we see what you have now. You scare us a little bit. Let's back off. Let's regroup. Let's talk about it. Let's get a better plan. Now they're better informed. The players probably forgot about them. 3, maybe even 3 game sessions later, they're coming back down that path. Boom! They hit them, and that's when we do the business. You can really get over it. And you describe them the same way the players are like, oh, those guys we didn't deal with are here to do us in. Or they jump the players while they're sleeping and beat them down. Or they run in and just steal some of their stuff. That could really just run a party. Like, all right, we're all asleep, and one guy's on watch. All right, you describe the guy on watch. A bunch of shadows are moving this way, and he's like, guys, and he turns around, there's a bunch of other people in the camp. They snuck up behind, and they're grabbing plate mail, they're grabbing axes, they're grabbing bags of gold, they're doing whatever they can to get the stuff, get out. Maybe they have some little alchemical items, and they throw them in for smoke, for confusion. Maybe they throw something into the fire and it causes explosions and so forth. And the players looking around and boom, they're gone to the darkness. They're scattering every which way to get away. And the players are confused. The players don't know the area. They're hitting back to the woods. They're gone. And they've just grabbed all this loot. So now it can put the players in a situation of, well, we want our stuff back. Well, how do we do that? Well, you can definitely allow them to know. They didn't just disappear. They exist still. Your stuff is still there. And they probably still have it. So you might need to look them up. And you can run that whole deal. And then they're going back to this craggy, ancient ruin, this caves, this little village in the trees, this ancient castle that's been overrun with weeds and weather-worn stone. And you go there, and then maybe you fight even a bigger group. And that's a whole boom, boom, boom. Instead of a little you kill 17 bandits, look at the mileage we can get out of it. They meet them. They square off. sides go their own way. The bandits maybe send another bandit to watch them and to collect intel. Comes back when they come back around, boom! Instead of 17 bandits, maybe it's a bunch of bandits. They come in and they loot them. They steal their stuff. We bring it back. The players go and find them and get their stuff back. Fight them. Maybe even some stuff disappears. They fight them. They get their stuff. They get other things. They kill them. Or maybe they don't. Maybe they get beat down and get enslaved or whatever. So you can keep stretching it out instead of one. Now we're at 3 acts, and we could have again the villains go over on them, sell them to slavery because they're thieves, right? They don't want to just murder you. They want to make that maximum profit. So we sell you to slavery. We strip you your stuff. Now we're sending you down the road, or they beat the living hell out of them and they didn't kill them for whatever reason, but they've taken all their stuff. There's so many ways you can go to get mileage. You want to get mileage out of things. You want to get your players thinking. They can't just wait on stuff. When the random encounters can be really bad for that too, to make players think that, well, that's just there for experience. That's there for me to kill. I have the right to kill it. How dare it do anything of substance to me? No, when they're like, when they feel fragile, when they feel vulnerable, they're not just going to jump at everything. They're going to, there's 17 of them. There's 5 of us. That doesn't look good. In real life, if, you're running around with a bunch of badasses, right? It's you and it's 4 badasses. You got like Brock Lesnar and Tito Ortiz, and you got I don't know, Chuck Liddell, or maybe Haku, you understand, with you. And then the 17 dudes with weapons and armor and shit just jump. You're like, oh, hey a minute, man, hold on. It's about to get real. This might be a bad day for me. You're not just going to go in there running and bloodthirsty and kill them. So you can develop an air of more realism. You can get the bandits over. Bandits are like the encounter. You can get them over. You can get kobolds over. You can get goblins over and make them sinister and make them scary. Make the party go, ugh. Even at high levels, like, we got to go. Goblins. Oh, we're gonna go take care of them goblins, and you're running down, driving spears in their eyes, setting them on fire. That can be really rewarding and keep that deal running when they have a passion, when they have a desire to address the situation instead of being like, oh, we've done that. No, when they have that desire, that anger, where they want to do it, that can really bring across a great aspect in the game. You can get your mileage out of stuff. So with random encounters, make sure they make sense. Make sure you get more value out of them. If the party member speaks Goblin and you ran a bunch of goblins in there, don't be like, oh! I've had people deer in the headlights. What do you do? Well, I talk to them. Well, what do you mean they're goblins? Well, I speak Goblin. Oh, you do? Yes. In fact, I do. I speak 7 languages. One of them is Goblin. I will speak to the goblins. Oh, well, he doesn't know. He didn't have a name for one of them. He doesn't know what to say. He ain't trying to speak Goblin. He doesn't know what to do. He's or if you capture one and you're speaking to them and they don't know what to do. So make sure you know what to do. Make sure you know how to use it. Make sure you know how to get them over, get them that playtime. Make the most out of your random encounter. Make the most out of all your encounters, and throw some seasoning, throw some spice in there. Make it flavorful. Make it entertaining. Make it immersive. Now and forever, I am your main man.